If you work in cyber threat intelligence, or CTI, you've probably worked on an industry threat landscape report at one point or another. I've been doing these for years, so I've curated a list of my top 5 public sources to collect information for industry-specific threat landscape reports. Hi, my name is Nicole Hoffman. Some of you might know me as Threat Hunter Girl. I'm a security researcher, and I've been working in cyber threat intelligence, or CTI, for about 6 years. When I first started in CTI, I did not have a lot of resources. I was working at a lot of startups, and I had to struggle and really find my way when writing things like threat landscape reports. So I really relied on public sourced information. And if you aren't sure what a threat landscape report is, head over to my blog at threathuntergirl.com. I've already written a blog about what a threat landscape report is, why it's beneficial, and I've even included an outline that you can use. Google is one of the best resources available to CTI analysts. Google dorking, also known as Google hacking, is the practice of using advanced search engine operators to find information that is not always easily accessible through a regular Google search. It's important to note that Google dorking can lead you to sensitive content that wasn't intended to be publicly available. Typically, it's a misconfiguration, so please dork responsibly. The main point of an industry threat report is to identify key threats to that specific industry. A great way to do this is to find use cases of organizations in the industry that have been recently targeted by a cyber attack. You can do this with a simple Google search, but I find that using dorks saves me a lot of time, and I don't have to filter through things that are less useful. As an example, here are some dorks I would use if I was performing a threat landscape report on the education sector. The words in quotes are the keywords I'm searching for. The vertical bar is like the word or. Alternatively, you can use the word or in capital letters, and the plus sign you can use and in capital letters. It doesn't matter. You can actually use a combination of the two, but I'm essentially saying in the first bullet, I'm saying I'm looking for the keyword education or school, and the words cyber attack spelled with a space in the middle, cyber attack spelled together, hack, breach, targeting, suffer, leak, any of these. And the reason that I do this is because I am looking for things that I commonly see in news articles about specific attacks that have been made public. And if you read cyber news, after a while, you'll start to get used to the types of words that you see in headlines, as well as phrases that is used within the articles. And if you want to not include a specific keyword, or let's say you're looking at education and you're looking at the threats to education, but you don't want to include ransomware, you can just do a minus ransomware, or again, a capital NOT ransomware. It will try to exclude any results that have the word ransomware in it. You can even break down your industry further and focus on universities or school districts, or include a specific country to narrow it down to what you're looking for. In this example, you can see I've added keywords such as university or college. And this Google dorking doesn't always just work for, threat landscape reports. You can use this for any type of Google search if you're just trying to get past all of the noise and just look at the specific results that you're looking at. And if you want to know more about Google dorking, I'm going to link some blogs in my description. I also have some more information on my blog at threathuntergirl.com with some really helpful resources for getting started. I love MITRE ATT&CK. It is something that I always have bookmarked, no matter what device I am on. It has a lot of useful information about different threat groups and their specific tactics, techniques, and procedures. It also has a lot of great information about the different software that they use, whether it be a legitimate software or malware, has campaign information. There's just so much to dig into on this site. If you head over to the search bar, you can type in the industry that you're researching. We'll use education as an example. You can see all of the times that that specific industry is found throughout the knowledge base. If we go ahead and click on one, you can see all of this useful information, such as a description, the different aliases that are known, as well as all of the great techniques. One of the things that I truly enjoy about this site is that they provide links to all of the resources that they use to collect the information. I will say that Attack is only updated about twice a year, so sometimes this information isn't the most up-to-date depending on the time frame you have for your threat landscape report, but it is still a great source to get started. Specifically, if you have an industry that you haven't necessarily worked on before and you want to get an idea of the types of threats that you might be looking at. Level Blue Labs Open Threat Exchange, or OTX, is a publicly available knowledge base full of information about various threats, and they're organized within these pulses. You can click on the search bar and type in the industry that you're researching. I've already typed in education and searched. Sometimes it takes a while for the pulses to load, so I just already did that for the sake of time. I did want to point out though, you might be tempted to click on industries and then select the industry, which I've already done that, but you'll notice that a lot of these are like 10 years old, which isn't super useful. There's really no way for you to filter this or sort it by time. So I don't recommend ever using this. I recommend sticking with the pulses because then you can change this. You can sort it to recently created pulses. And a lot of the pulses are in relation to blogs from vendors, but sometimes you might find just things that community members have created. So with the blogs, you might say, well, I might find that one on Google Dorking. Why would I need to search here as well? Well, that's true, you could, but sometimes you might find a title that didn't have a specific keyword that you were searching for. So because OTX is such an easy site to check, I just recommend checking both of them because why not have more information? So anyway, when you click on a specific pulse, this is kind of what it looks like. The indicators are down below. You can click next and things like that. You can also download the indicators, which is really nice, and it gives you a nice description of what the article is about, actually shows you the reference. This one looks like it came from maybe a PDF or a blog, and you can go ahead and click on that and it'll take you right to it. And it's just a lot of great information if you're looking for industry-specific threats that I use pretty much on a daily basis. The Electronic Transactions Development Agency, or ETDA, has a threat actor encyclopedia with threat profiles for various groups and tools. The threat profiles are known as threat cards on the site, and you can click on search, or you can get to it by groups. For this video, we're going to click on search because you can go down to victim sector and you can look for a specific industry. Let's do education again, and we'll hit search. And then you could see all of the groups that have targeted that specific sector, and they will provide sources as to where they got that information as well. And it's not just APT groups. Sometimes they do have other groups as well. See, like right there is other groups. But let's go ahead and click on one of these so you can see the types of information. One of my favorite things about this site is that they show all of the aliases and which company calls it that alias, which is super nice if you work in cyber threat intelligence. But it also has a lot of great information about, the specific targeting, a lot of, if there's any public reporting, and it shows you the specific dates. So it just makes it super easy for you to just quickly go through and see if there's anything in, like, let's say you're focusing on the last 6 months. Is there anything targeting education in the last 6 months? So it's just a really great tool to use, a great tool to have bookmarked if you're in CTI, just to have on hand. And I do believe that they update this on a regular basis. I don't have the specific time frame, like ATT&CK I know is updated twice a year. This particular site, I've seen it updated pretty regularly, so I think it's for the most part up to date. Bleeping Computer is one of my favorite sources for consuming cyber news. The company has been around for a while, making its site like a treasure trove of cyber news, and it's publicly available for everyone. Similar to other sources that I've shared, if you go to Bleeping Computer and you type in your specific industry, let's go ahead and use education again, and hit enter or search, you can see a lot of great information. What I like to do, no matter what I'm searching, whether it is an industry or a threat group or a piece of malware, whatever it is, I will click on this latest education news. Like if I had typed in like Quackbot, it would say latest Quackbot news. It's anything that they might add as a tag to one of their stories. So if we click on that, it should open a new tab, depending on your browser settings, and then it'll literally show you any time that they have tagged a blog, or not a blog, an article, a news article with education, which is super useful. Specifically, not only is it useful for time-sensitive ones if you're going back to a specific time period, but if you're doing more of a historical overview of the threats to an industry, you can really go back far, and it could, lead you to pivot to other places. So super useful. And if they mention something based on a vendor blog, they will typically link it. So that's really nice as well. So there you have it. There's 5 sources that you can use next time you get tasked with writing a threat landscape report focusing on a specific industry. If I forgot any sources that you like to use regularly, go ahead and comment below and let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with my latest videos. Thank you.